In a quiet village of Ogoli, surrounded by beautiful palm trees and sweet-smelling lilies, two brothers grew up under the same roof, yet their hearts beat to different rhythms. Odinka, the elder, was restless and loud, always drawn to mischief and at the center of every rumor or dispute. Obiora, his younger brother, was calm and gentle, cherishing the warmth of his family and the laughter of children. Even as boys, their paths were different. Odinka's voice could be heard long after the sun had set, echoing from the village in Nku-Okaba, where men gathered to drink palm wine and tell stories. He rarely listened to his parents, especially their father, who tried tirelessly to guide him. One evening, after Odinka had spent hours wandering and teasing other children along the dusty streets, their father confronted him. "Odinka, enough of this," he snapped. "You are always leaving the house, while your brother works and helps the family. You must stay home and learn responsibility." Odinka laughed, brushing off his father's hand. "Why should I sit at home when there is life to enjoy outside? Obiora can tend to everything, I have other plans." Their father grabbed his arm to stop him from leaving, but Odinka shoved him with surprising force. Their father stumbled and fell onto the hard floor, groaning in pain. Odinka smirked, but even in his defiance, a flicker of guilt passed across his face. Still, he walked out, disappearing into the night, returning only in the early hours of the morning, often drunk and reeking of palm wine, his laughter echoing along the dusty paths. Obiora, meanwhile, stayed behind. He carried water, helped their mother sweep the yard, and played quietly with the younger siblings. He found joy in the small rhythms of life, cooking, tending the garden, and sharing quiet moments with his parents. As the years went by, Odinka grew older. He married and had children, but his nights remained devoted to the Nku-Okaba. He would often call Obiora, his voice boisterous, full of laughter and teasing. "Obiora, come. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Don't be a coward. Don't sit at home wrapped in women's clothes while the men of the village celebrate." Obiora shook his head, smiling softly. "I have my own celebrations, Odinka. I have my family. They are my joy." Obiora sometimes would stop by the Nku-Okaba and buy some bottles of Nku-Oka, sometimes with Onu Enchi, and return to his home. His wife greeted him with a warm embrace, the children's laughter spilling into the courtyard as they poured cups and shared stories. In the soft glow of an oil lamp, they ate, drank, and celebrated life together. Odinka could never understand this. He spent nights in boisterous laughter and rowdy drinking. Soon, his love for pleasure took a toll. He married a second wife, fathering more children, and poured his money into entertainment rather than into the family or his business. Fields went untended, debts piled up, and he was forced to sell properties to cover losses. Many of his children dropped out of school, wandering the village with no direction, while others grew wild and rebellious, earning the reputation of black sheep in the community. Obiora, in contrast, worked steadily. He nurtured his children, teaching them the value of learning, responsibility, and hard work. When they succeeded in school or small businesses, he celebrated with pride, his laughter echoing like music in the courtyard. The family feasts were simple, but the joy was genuine, full of warmth, jokes, and shared stories. Even Okoye, his friend, and his family often joined, their laughter intertwining with Obiora's children's delighted squeals. Sometimes, late at night, Obiora would think of Odinka, his older brother, wondering why his brother never saw the joy of such a life. Once, when Odinka returned home drunk, staggering through the compound, Obiora approached him carefully. "Odinka, why do you keep going this way?" Obiora asked gently. "You have a family, children who need you, a business that could grow, why throw it all away?" Odinka laughed, slurring his words. "Obiora, you are too serious. Life is for enjoyment. Don't try to lecture me about responsibility. I am free, I live for the moment." Obiora only shook his head and walked away, leaving his brother to stumble into the night. Years passed, and Odinka's recklessness began to take its full toll. His health weakened from the long nights of drinking, the stress of failing business, and constant worries over his family. One quiet morning, while sitting alone in the courtyard, he clutched his chest and collapsed. The villagers murmured with sorrow. The man who had dominated every gathering had fallen into silence. Obiora mourned his brother deeply, not only for the man he had lost but for the family that had suffered under Odinka's choices. Yet even in grief, he felt gratitude for the life he had built. His children were safe, educated, and thriving, their laughter still filling the courtyard. In the village, the story of the two brothers became a lesson whispered from one generation to the next. It was a tale of choices and consequences, of devotion and neglect, of joy found in unity and sorrow born of recklessness. True wealth, it reminded them, was not in property or idle pleasures, but in love, discipline, and the bonds of family. And so, Obiora's legacy endured, bright and steady, while Odinka's story remained a cautionary tale, a shadow of what might have been. The story of the two brothers becomes a timeless lesson passed through generations. True wealth lies not in pleasures or property, but in discipline, family, and love. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe for more videos.